If you're going to do it, do it. Say what you can do. Do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it. Find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would have. That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet.
What could have happened?
You don't know.
In the process of being told to not half-ass it, you didn't half-ass it.
The way I asked. He asked, and he heard my own conviction. And I think what he had in that moment was what I think every parent wants to hope to have with their kids, is that, we raise our kids to go in a structured form. Follow this and you can get most of what you want in life. And that can work. But what do we really want our kids to do? We want them to follow that and then bust out of it one day and not even ask our permission. And that's when we're going, that's my boy, that's my girl, that's my child. We want him to break out. And I think what he heard then was I was breaking out without really asking his permission. And I was clear. I spoke up, I didn't stutter. My voice was out of my throat a little bit. And I think that was part of why in that moment he gave me the answer, don't half-ass.
Do you think that sentiment carried forward into how you got the role for Dazed and Confused? That I'm going to continue to lean in, I'm on the front foot, I'm 10 toes down?
Yes. Now, how much that direct sentiment from that night when he told me don't half-ass it had to do with that? I mean, yeah, it did have something to do with it. Look, when he said don't half-ass it, he was, and I talk about this in the book, he wasn't only giving me permission, he was giving me a responsibility. He was going, I had his word with me in my future decisions. I was making them for more than myself. I wanted to fail less because I didn't want to embarrass him. And that was extra motivation, extra strength, extra courage, extra sobriety, extra well, let's find out. Go for it, man. Go for it. It carried on into other stories of other jobs. Time to Kill with Joel Schumacher going, I want the lead. That's me going, I want to find out. And Dad told me not to half-ass it back there a few years ago. So if I don't go for it, if I embarrass myself, I'm embarrassing him. So that was also some incentive and some weight behind those moves that I made, some of them.
Could you tell that story, the Dazed and Confused story of leaning in, of taking that risk?
Yeah, so, the initial one started when I went on a Thursday night, went to my favorite bar at the top of the Hyatt because I knew the bartender, he was in film school with me, he'd give me free vodka and tonic, so I went there. I get there that night, he brings me and my girlfriend vodka and tonic, tells me, hey, there's a guy at the end of the bar producing a movie. Let me introduce you to him. I walk over, he introduced me to him. 4 hours later, that man, Don Phillips, legendary casting director, who was actually a producer on Dazed and Confused, we get kicked out of that bar. I've had as many vodka and tonics as he had since I sat down, so I'm not leaving easily either. And I'm standing up for my new friend who we hadn't done anything to get kicked out of the bar. We really hadn't. We were just kind of standing on top of the tables imitating some golf shots we had played on similar courses in the past. Come to this address tomorrow morning, 9:30. You might be right for this part. It's this character called Wooderson in this movie, Dazed Confused. I think you might be right for the part. Now, this is 3-something in the morning, so 9:30 came really quickly, and I was on time probably 5 minutes early. And we were already pretty tuned at this time. Now, mind you, I get there, I walk in, they go, Matthew? I go, yes. They go, Don left the script for you. I open it up, it's signed by him. Hey, here's the part, Wooderson. I got 3 scenes in there, 3 lines. They're all marked. Check them out. I think you might be right for it. Good luck. Let me know. We'll call you in for an audition. I go away. I go look at these 3 lines. One of them was what I like to call these days a launch pad line, which is a line that sometimes they'll have in a script where if that character means that line and that character's not playing that line as an attitude or a wink or a joke, if that character means that line, you could write a book on it. You could write a book based on that reality. And that line in Dazed Confused from the character Wooderson was a line when he's leaning against the wall outside the pool hall, High school girls walk by. He checks one of them's backside as they go by, and his buddy says, Wooderson, you got to cut that out, man. You're going to end up in jail. And Wooderson says, no, man. Now, what I found out 2 years ago was Rick also asked me that night on the sidewalk, hey, you think he'd be interested in the redheaded intellectual girl? Is because Rick he had just noticed that night that they had a story hole. They didn't know what car they were going to go, I think, pick up the Aerosmith tickets in. And who else had a car? Pickford had a car, and I was the only one who had a car, and had a guy who had a job. And he was trying to start to fill a story hole. He didn't tell me this till like a year ago. And that's why he invited me into that first scene at the Top Notch Barbecue, where I said those 3 words, which were the first words I said on screen, which were the 3 affirmations for the 3 things my guy did have. And I think they came from, not intentionally, but leading up to that role, I was listening to a lot of Doors. And there's a live track of Morrison at some Doors concert. I don't know where. I think it's in Europe somewhere, where he barks out, all right, all right, all right, all right.
How can people, or how do you have more of that perspective during a hard time?
Yeah. Well, look, a couple things. First off, you know, I probably start off intellectualizing something that I know I probably should believe in, but don't believe in it, and convince myself, even to an extent to trick myself, that, you know, to sit here and go, well, you just tell yourself, this too shall pass. Okay, great. Well, what the hell's that mean? Even if it's true. In the moment, you're like, what are you fucking talking about, man? I'm in the debit section. I'm in a warning section. This sucks. I think that how much I'm conscious of it or not, my undeniable optimism and faith that this isn't all it is. And if it is, oh, so what? That's okay. Well, then really, so what? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? It minimizes. I seem to have a tendency not to make a bigger deal out of things that other people make a bigger deal. Dramas. I don't like to create false drama. When it comes and it's hard, I am affected. I get the blues. I get sad. I get mad. I'm a shit to be around. I can't get to sleep. I got demons in my own head trying to work the riddle out. Why did this happen? That's the other thing that's tough for me, is I think that any bad thing that happens to me, my initial reaction is, what'd you do wrong to lead to this? Like in a relationship, Camilla and I get in an argument. My mind immediately goes, well, what'd you do in the last 2 weeks to let this get to a point where you just had to raise your voice, or she had to raise her voice at you? Usually there's some P's and Q's that were not handled to get to that point. So I like it when things are running like this. The challenge when things are running great is we all tend to think, aha, this is it. I've found it. Bottle it. If I realize this, I can maintain this forever. And the truth is bullshit. No, we can't. But we can minimize it. There are habits that I notice of things I take care of in my life, health-wise, faith-wise, father-wise, husband-wise, that I know that if I'm doing that consistently, there's less valleys. There's less stress. There's less warning signs. There's less problematic, oh shit, how do we get in this? So there's consistently behaviors that I know I can act upon that have worked in the past.
If only I could have stepped in. Yeah, you make yourself
but
the
also
center.
The first side, I'm the reason that I stepped in shit, which is also an asset. Even if someone go, why are you giving yourself so much credit for screwing that up?
Yeah, beautiful.
For me, I think it's an obvious dance of the both, because you can't jump to the objective right away and go, inshallah, oh, fate'll have it, this too shall pass, I'm fine. No, because then you don't deal with the crisis. I do have a pretty quick threshold for being able to laugh, like honestly start giggling when I'm in the shit, because I've found that I'm able to handle the shit better if I just start, the quicker I start going, are you kidding me? And I'll get objective and remind myself things like, you gonna die, McConaughey, which gives me that, so what, this is not as big of a deal as I thought. I also quickly somehow comes in my head, not right now, but one day this is gonna be a great fucking story. I quickly go to that. I'll project forward into those places that ease me a little bit, and at least maybe look at it with a good eye.
You're almost imagining being that future you, laughing back at this present you.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the faith and belief that again, I'm nervous before I'm going to go speak or something. I got a little thing in my wallet. You're going to die one day, McConaughey, and I'm like, that relaxes me. If I'm going in, complacent, I got another note. I tell myself, what you're about to say and do will outlive you, so you better fucking do it well, to get me more on edge.
Bad times, you can't do anything other than wallow in retrospective assessment.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things I've learned from you is when things are going well, given that that's presumably what you want to have more of, maybe worth deconstructing that.
Yes, I wish I could more, and I think more of us could all deconstruct our assets. Happiness, you can't guarantee it, but there is a science to satisfaction. There, you can look at habits that engineered less pain in your life, maybe more pleasure, but at least less pain, and that's a win. I try to deconstruct. Look, do I write it? Did I used to write as much? Look at anybody who's ever kept a diary. What's the old sort of nostalgic idea of a diary? You go there when you're in pain and you share thoughts that you don't want to share with anyone else, of those reflection. And I did used to, for some reason, I don't know why, but would force myself to write every day, no matter how happy I was. And I didn't a lot of times want to go write when I was happy, because I was like, no, I don't need to write it. I don't need to become conscious of it.
I'm having too much fun. It's getting in the way.
Come on, I'm doing it. It's living, it's happening. And in writing Greenlights, when I went back, that's a lot of the consistencies that I found that I wrote when things were going well, that I was taking for some reason, trying to live lighter with less gravity, live lighter, not take certain things so seriously, but still have the principled backbone. Because as I'm getting older, we get older, and the black and whites turn to gray, and then there's a great word, compromise, we all say, which is such a mature thing to do. And then all of a sudden we let things slide, and then we start going, well, change will happen. Hey, change is inevitable. Let change happen. And I'm not ready. That's part of getting old, I think, not just getting older. Same with cynicism. It's a disease of getting too old. And I'm not ready I don't want to be ready to give up certain things. I'm going, no, man. The beauty of ignorance, those things that we believed in. I've gotten away with so many things because of my ignorance. I would be dead 14 times in this life if I wouldn't have been ignorant of the situation I was in.
Well, also picking fights with yourself. You hinted just there at the difficulty of a negative inner voice. You take things seriously. You care about what you're doing. You want to achieve things in this world, which means that you need to have high standards.
Yep.
You need to posit an ideal. But as soon as you posit an ideal, you then begin to compare yourself to that ideal. Yep. And often you find yourself lacking because it's a fucking ideal.
Yep. I think it's why a lot of relationships don't work. We make her Wonder Woman and she makes us Superman, and neither one of us can live up to it. And that we've got that bulb, that honeymoon bulb turned up to 100 watts, and the honeymoon's over. We're trying to deal with some real base stuff. Let's leave it at 20 watts. So we're just lit, but we're not just feverishly, superhuman. And I think a lot of us just purport that on someone else, and they can't live up to it, and it ends up not being fair to them. And then they do the same to us, and we both walk away going, I underwhelmed. Be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. At the same time, be able to, as we do more often, look in the mirror when we fail and go, bogey, you did not pull that off. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's kind of big in the ownership idea, the fail or the gain, ownership being really important. And I'm a fan of the ego. I wish people. Someone said this to me before. Look, this acquaintance said this. It came off the cuff. I didn't even think about it. She was like, Matthew, you're so full of yourself. And without thinking, I was like, well, who else am I supposed to be full of?
That's a good line.
And I stopped after. I was like, that's exactly what I meant. And I went and wrote that down. I wish more people were more full of themselves. Not in the arrogant way, but I'm talking about a healthy ego to understand. And I understand the ego's difference between I and me. Me's the objective, but to know the I wish more people, I wish we were more full of ourselves. I wish more people in the world were more full of themselves. I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way. I pushed against it, and I even had clumsy times where I got ugly just to counter it. Like I said, I tripping myself running downhill. I tripped myself because I felt like, man, things are going too well. I need a bloody nose. Bam! I give myself one. Now I feel more. Okay, now I'm where I'm supposed to be. Does part of that come with the fact that I grew up in a middle-class, blue-collar family in Uvalde, Texas, out of 12,000 people, from a dad who's like, you get out there and you earn, you break a sweat? Probably. I don't know. I wouldn't feel, so much stuff was coming at me, and I didn't feel like I'd broken a sweat to get it. I was having fun what I did, and couldn't give myself enough credit for maybe he's going, you're good at what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. But still disconcerting either way. Either way,
it's all bounce because it's not on par. It's why I headed out to Peru after I got famous, took the 22-day backpack trip. And I remember writing down, I said, I need to go test who I am, my character, on people who know me as a stranger. And when I left, after 22 days, the hugs and the tears of the no longer strangers after 22 days, but the hugs and the tears were coming from people that only knew me as a guy named Matthew, and that's it, who showed up and met me from there, no biography on me, had no idea I was famous, no idea I was in the movies, and 22 days later, they're weeping tears of gladness and sadness saying goodbye to me. That gave me trust back, and I was like, I got it. I did this. Okay,
I'm still there.
I got it. I can still fix a tire. I don't have this. The whole thing isn't just AAA coming to fix the car. You know what I mean? Okay. I needed that. It gave me a lot of confidence to come back to Hollywood and look a lot of what I was deeming excess, look it in the eye and go, I get it. I know I earned getting here. I got the goods. All of this, I may not have earned that. I didn't even ask for a lot of this, but I know I got myself here. Okay.